Hey everyone, welcome back. It's day 9 of the Art of Learning Self-Love. Grab that notebook, your pen, and today's affirmation of the day is I make good and wise decisions. Again, I make good and wise decisions. I'm going to write this out in a different format today. I want you to write out in the morning, I make good and wise decisions 3 times. Then in the afternoon, I want you to write it 6. And then in the evening before bed, I want you to write it 9. 3, 6, and 9, there is a real power in those numbers. And that repetition of it will actually begin resetting and creating a way for you to begin that space of belief for yourself. Because when you write it 3 times, it's great. You're affirming yourself. When you write it 6 times, now you have multiplied that affirming. Then 9 times, you're now just continuously reaffirming to yourself. Now it becomes a belief system. So 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times before bed, I make good and wise decisions. That's the affirmation. Your assignment of the day today is spend 15 minutes sitting somewhere, preferably outside, if possible. Just relaxing and allowing yourself to be in the moment. Afterwards, like I said, for 15 minutes, just being. Doesn't matter what's going on in your mind, allow it all to come up. Let it be whatever is running through your mind. Allow those thoughts to just run through. Then, afterwards, write about your experience while sitting with yourself. What did you reflect upon? Was this a positive or negative experience for you? Why did you feel the way that you felt? And are there things that you need to discuss that were welling up? Were there a lot of things that were underneath everything that started to just bubble to the surface? A lot of us have what we call like a kettle system. We tend to take life experiences and stuff them into the pot of the boiling waters on in the kettle, a teapot, So we're just allowing these things to sit inside and simmer and simmer and simmer on this back burner. And eventually, if we're not taking these things out of ourselves and working through these things, what we'll end up doing is blowing the cork that we have placed within that. And that's where episodes and circumstances and situations happen in our life. And we don't understand why all of a sudden the coffee spilling out of our cup made us blow up, because we got bumped accidentally. We have to really come through and understand that we are responsible for dealing and processing these feelings. But these feelings, generally, we get into life and we're like, oh, I'll deal with that later. The later is never coming. So this is why I ask you to take the moments to take about 15 minutes to sit with yourself and allow whatever it is to journal the different ideas that are coming up along the way, because there may be some real underlying issues during this assignment that we can sit down and discuss. Now, at this point in the course, we may or may not have actually met yet, because every week we get together. So we may be meeting soon. And if you haven't met with me yet, maybe we should wait till after this assignment is done. If you have, don't worry, make some side notes and we will come back to it, because we will be covering this during our one-on-one session. And so I want you to really just tune into yourself this week, during this day, but over this course of this week. And I want you to start really journaling the thoughts and the feelings and the different things that are starting to come up. Because as we uncover certain things and start laying things down and establishing ourselves and identifying things, we're going to have other stuff that starts coming up. We're like layers. There's layers and layers and layers. I mean, it was years of life that we went through that got us to where we're at today. And because of that, we have different situations and scenarios and stories that have been sitting in the recesses of our mind from different experiences that make us who we are today. And absolutely everything about you was completely 100% on time every time, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. However, it's learning how to process it and getting the skills that we need so that we can. And that is what I'm here to do with you through the art of learning self-love. I am really excited about this assignment. I know that I do this quite regularly for myself to keep myself in balance so that I don't have things that are stewing on the inside and stirring up. So I want you to really sit with yourself. Take that 15 minutes. If it is too hard for you to sit that long, because in the beginning it can be, sit as long as you can. Allow, if you've had a lot of traumas, don't dive into the trauma and think about all the details, but know that it surfaced and make a note of it. We can work through that together. We don't have to be alone anymore in that process. I am here to assist you through this process. I am a guiding light for you through this process. And I know that from my own experiences, as you see the two pictures behind me, this is what I once felt like, completely shattered. And there have been many times in my life I have felt this way. Even recently, I had a circumstance that made me feel this way. So at any given time, no matter where we're at in life and what we're going through, this can happen. But learning the processes and learning the tools that we need so that we can move and bridge it and allow ourselves to come to this place where we're totally restored, healed, and able to actually continue walking out our life without those storylines literally creating a bunch of scenarios and situations that keep us locked up and kept up from where we're really going. I really want you to be able to be free from those things, and it's going to take some time. I mean, I'm not dealing with babies here. We're dealing with grown adults most of the time. I got some teenagers that I've worked with, but for the most part, I'm dealing with a bunch of grown adults who have been dealing with things for a very long time. And most of us have been through some real serious situations. And every single one of them made us who we are. And sometimes we hurt so deeply. And it is important for us to bring those things up to the surface, allow ourselves to feel them, allow ourselves to deal with them. And if you feel any overwhelming feelings right now that are bubbling to the surface, I want you to take in a deep breath in through your nose. And I want you to think about whatever it is that is disturbing your balance right now and exhale it. Allow yourself to begin writing out what it is that you are thinking about. You don't have to go, like I said, into all the details, but at least jot down what it was that came up. Because you are worth all of it. You are worth working through and walking through this to your healing restoration. Blessings, love, and light. Bye for now.